But I definitely like the charm of the band, man. I think they're very charming for sure. The dude's performance, the guitar playing style, it's like a... Is jaunty the right word to describe it? I don't think so. Let's say it definitely has like a vintage feel to it. That's the way to describe it. That's way more accurate. It's got a vintage feel to it. So the Strokes are a band that I've heard a decent amount about. Apparently, they helped reinvigorate the genre in the early 2000s due to this sort of new age twist to maybe an older style that existed before. So they were a band that were formed in New York City. They have a lead singer-songwriter called Julian Casablancas, who has showed up on a Daft Punk record that I really did like. And Noel Gallagher seems to speak very highly of their debut EP, which is the one that caused sort of a bidding war because it was such a huge hit and people liked the music so much. They thought it was so fresh amongst major labels who were trying to sign them. So I thought it was a good shout in terms of trying to try out newer rock music on the channel. A lot of you guys have suggested these Strokies. So let's check out the music, man. This is one of their most famous songs. Here we go. So doing a little bit of research behind the song, I learned that it was inspired quite a bit by a Tom Petty record, and a lot of magazines seem to list this track as being one of the most important or best guitar tracks of the decade. It's pretty high praise. Let's get into the song. Here we are with Last Night by The Strokes. 3, 2. Okay, first initial takes on the song. It definitely sounds like sort of a reinvigorated, older style of music that I might have heard on this channel, maybe from the 50s. I might be wrong about that, where I'm taking the music from. I'm not too sure where Tom Petty's style or what era he's from, but it's kind of like it's like a take on maybe older music is my initial understanding of the sound of the record. His singing is really interesting to me. I don't know quite how to describe it. He sounds very broken up. I'll say that about his performance. So the notes are all coming out kind of scrunched up from his chest. So it seems like a tale about young love and maybe not understanding his girl, right? And maybe everyone around him not understanding the nature of the love is what I'm taking away. Like, no girlfriends, they can't understand. Your grandsons, they won't understand. On top of this, I ain't ever gonna understand. Okay, he's kind of madly maybe taken aback by the girl. Let's keep it rolling. Back it up a bit. Switch up. I've got the video up also, so like I'm watching his performance as well before him. Whatever he's doing on stage, I don't know what the hell to call it. It seems like he's drunk, but I think that kind of goes into the nature of his singing. I didn't like it at first, but it's weirdly catchy. Like I can imagine me 2 hours from now thinking about this melody. I've definitely butchered that. I like the switch ups of music between the chorus. I feel like the mood shifts really, really heavily. I do like that aspect of it. Okay, I mean, if you're wondering why I'm bashing about my microphone, he was doing the same thing. I don't quite understand the performance. Is he? I guess he's heartbroken about what's happening here. That's why he's like bumping into dudes, knocking things down. I guess that's what I'm taking away from that. Okay, the music. Let's start with the lyrics first. The lyrics, lyrically, I think what they did with the lyrics is purposely make it sort of straightforward in a way. I don't think they were trying to knock your socks off with what they were writing. It kind of set the stage for the most important thing, which I think is the lead vocalist, the frontman, and his performance of he's playing this character, I would say, almost of someone who's like distraught, down to the way he's singing. That melody is catchy as hell, man. I didn't love it at first, but it grew on me. One knock I will give it is it's a little bit repetitive. Yeah, I think that it just kind of a lot of the same thing played out throughout. I did like the switch up between the chorus and the verse, but at the moment I'm still unsure about the music, man. Who knows, maybe this is an earworm and I find myself listening to it more and more, and it might be one of those tracks that almost needs that, where you need to hear it a couple of times to really understand it. I guess I'll let you guys let me know about that. But I don't love it at first, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Some of my favorite music has come out of that feeling. There's something about it that's really interesting, but I don't love it at first. And then with time, it grew on me. One of my favorite albums of all time, Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar, was the same way. The music was a lot to kind of take in at first, and then with time, it just really, really grew on me. It might be one of those ones, but I definitely like the charm of the band, man. I think they're very charming for sure. The dude's performance, the guitar playing style, it's like is jaunty the right word to describe it? I don't think so. Let's say it definitely has like a vintage feel to it. That's the way to describe it. That's way more accurate. It's got a vintage feel to it. Vintage redone, I would say. It sounded like to me. Regardless, I'm down to listen to more, man. Very interesting introduction, at least. Peace.